Have you ever wondered, how deep can a human dive? It depends on the type of diving, equipment used, experience and personal tolerance. The definition of a deep dive according to PADI is any dive exceeding 18 meters/60 feet, though experts can reach up to 400 feet in a single breath. How deep can a human dive without scuba gear? Freedive? For a species of land-dwelling primates, humans make surprisingly good divers. Due to an ancient diving reflex known as the mammalian diving reflex, we're able to optimize our biology for maximum efficiency during a dive. Freediving, often called apnea, has been practiced for thousands of years throughout the globe. Freediving depth records. Competitive freedivers compete in a variety of different disciplines. There is constant weight apnea, where divers propel themselves to the bottom without touching the rope or dropping their weights. There's also no limits apnea, in which divers utilize high-speed dive sleds and inflatable balloons to help them descend and ascend rapidly. There are also a variety of sub-disciplines, both with and without diving fins and dive weights. The world record for no limits apnea is currently held by Herbert Naish. In 2007 he dove to an incredible 214 meters, 702 feet. In 2012, he broke his own record, diving to 253 meters, 831 feet, but injuring himself in the process. The constant weight apnea world record is currently held by Alexei Molchanov, 130 meters for men, and by Alessia Zecchini, 107 meters for women. The theoretical maximum a human could freedive is not that clear-cut. The limiting factor for freediving appears to be the pressure exerted on the lungs at extreme depths. At a certain point, the pressure can be too much for the body to handle. How deep can a human dive with scuba gear? The current record for the deepest scuba dive is held by Egypt's Ahmed Gabar. In 2014, he dove 332 meters, 1,090 feet, below the ocean surface near Dahab, Egypt. It took him just 15 minutes to reach the record depth and another 14 hours to get back to the surface due to scheduled decompression stops. There are a number of factors limiting the depth scuba divers can safely dive to. 1. Nitrogen narcosis. Nitrogen narcosis is an altered state of consciousness that occurs when breathing compressed gases at depth. For many people, the effect is similar to alcohol intoxication. Narcosis is not dangerous by itself, but it can lead to impaired decision-making and focus. 2. Oxygen toxicity. Oxygen toxicity results from breathing high concentrations of oxygen below a certain depth. It can lead to seizures and drowning. In order to combat this, deep divers utilize specialized gas mixtures with lower concentrations of oxygen. 3. High-pressure nervous syndrome. High-pressure nervous syndrome, HPNS, is a neurological condition that occurs during extremely deep dives while breathing helium gas. It causes tremors, muscle twitching, fatigue, and dizziness. It's caused by the speed of descent as well as the absolute pressure at depths below 500 feet. HPNS seems to be the limiting factor for how deep divers can go, as it can't be completely prevented. 4. Decompression sickness. Decompression sickness, also called the bends, is always a consideration when scuba diving. However, it's greatly increased in deeper dives. The time a diver can stay below the water without decompression stops is known as the no decompression limit. Deep diving requires many long decompression stops during the ascent, which increases the risks of something going wrong. 5. Air consumption. The deeper you dive, the higher your breathing gas consumption will be. This means deep dives require serious logistical planning to ensure breathing gas supplies are adequate. Other diving methods. Saturation diving is where divers live in a pressurized underwater habitat for a long period of time, which allows them to acclimate to the high pressure. This type of diving is used in commercial offshore drilling, as well as for research and exploration. Saturation diving is stunningly exhibited in James Cameron's 1989 film, The Abyss. Atmospheric diving suits are hard-shelled diving suits capable of taking a human up to 700 meters, 2,300 feet, below the surface. Because they are fully enclosed systems, the diver doesn't need to decompress or use special breathing gases. Liquid breathing is a semi-theoretical way for divers to descend to extreme depths. While breathing gases compress under pressure, oxygenated breathing liquid will not compress. Theoretically, this could allow divers to descend indefinitely. How deep can a submarine go? The two deepest manned submarine dives ever recorded were both to the bottom of the Challenger Deep at the southern end of the Mariana Trench. This is the deepest underwater point on Earth, at nearly 7 miles 11 km deep. The first submersible to reach this depth was the Trieste in January 1960. The second submersible to descend to the bottom of the Challenger Deep was James Cameron's solo submersible, the Deep Sea Challenger, in 2012. The entire voyage is chronicled in Cameron's excellent 2014 documentary Deep Sea Challenge. How deep can a human dive before being crushed? Being crushed underwater is not a serious concern for divers. The human body is able to withstand an incredible amount of pressure. The major concerns for scuba divers are decompression sickness, narcosis, oxygen toxicity, and high-pressure nervous syndrome. So, how deep can you dive? The answer will depend on the type of diving, experience level and training. Most scuba diving organizations recommend recreational divers not exceed 40 meters, 130 feet, deep. Staying within these limits ensures you don't get in over your head, so to speak. Freedivers don't have a hard and fast rule for maximum depth, but you should always dive within your limits. Never push yourself beyond your comfort zone, always err on the side of caution.